Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. There is a very interesting story developing. A story on TWIGA Foods. TWIGA Foods was awarded 300 million by Kenya government. Yes, the 300 million was from the Hustlers Fund. And it never stopped there. This is a company that partnered with the government in the Galana Kulalu irrigation scheme. So it's a company that has really been working very closely with the government. But what is causing a lot of political interest is that this company has announced that it's laying off its employees because of harsh economic reality in the country. And that is really causing a lot of worries because it was automatically expected that a company working very closely with a government saying that it wants to create jobs for the youths should not be laying off employees, but actually employing more. I want us to have a look at the story as captured by Citizen before we proceed. Kenyan e-commerce and food distribution startup TWIGA Foods has announced a fresh round of layoffs. The business-to-business B2B tech company, which late last year received a Kenya shillings 300 million loan from the state-owned Hustler Fund, said it was adjusting operations amid the biting economic times, which have made people's purchasing power decline. At the close of last year, the company sent home 21% of its workforce, representing 211 of its over 1,000 employees, amid a restructuring that eliminated its in-house sales team. And in March, TWIGA partnered with the Kenya government to oversee maize production on 20,000 acres of the Galana Kulalu food security project under a public-private partnership. The e-commerce company in May fired 130 independent sales agents over poor performance amid rising competition in the food delivery business. So TWIGA Food is sending home some of its employees. And that's very interesting because this is a private company that is in partnership with the government. As usual here, I want us to dissect into this for Kenyans to understand what's going on behind the scenes. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's proceed. Yes, what's actually going on behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen? The first thing I'm seeing here is corruption. It might be possible that the 300 million that the government gave TWIGA Foods and the partnership between TWIGA Foods and the government in the Galana Kulalu irrigation scheme, all those were avenues for corruption. Some greedy individuals in Kenya Kwanza government brought this company close for them to loot from public coffers. So the money that this TWIGA company was given, or even the partnership with the government in Galana Kulalu project, those are just corruption avenues. The money is being eaten by politicians, by leaders in Kenya Kwanza government. So I'm seeing that partnership as an avenue of corruption. Kenya Kwanza government stands accused there. It's clear some rogue elements in government are using TWIGA to steal from the public. And then secondly, if it's actually true that TWIGA company is a private company not a company being run by some rogue elements in the government, then that should be a lesson to these private business owners. Keep politicians out of your businesses. The moment you introduce politicians in your businesses, they will actually collapse your business. Because naturally, politicians are very greedy individuals, irrespective of the ranks they hold, whether president or whichever. Politicians are by nature greedy individuals, and they will fleece your business. So keep politicians away from your business. That's something also coming out very, very clearly. And also, I'm seeing the issue of unemployment and the lies coming from Kenya Kwanza government. If a company that has partnered with the government is laying off its employees, a company that is working very closely with the government, a company that should be setting an example to others that actually the government, through private partnership, can create jobs for our youths. If that company is laying off its employees, then it just confirms that this is a very hypocritical government, a government that will not create job opportunities for our youths. So all these political rhetorics that we are going to create jobs for our youths, 1 million jobs, all those are just political rhetorics. Kenya Kwanza is not very honest with Kenyans. It cannot create jobs. In fact, I'm seeing a government that is just going to render very many Kenyans unemployed. And even those in employment are actually going to lose their jobs. And I'm saying that based on what we have so far seen with the Kazim Tani, where the government of Kenya did away with that economic activity that was giving jobs to our youths. So Ruto's government is rendering more youths jobless. That should be made very clear. And any Kenyan still expecting to get a job from this government, wake up from that dream. Something also coming out very, very clearly, I'm seeing a government that has failed flat. Ruto and his team, they should come out in broad daylight to admit the fact that they failed. And now that they've failed, they should just be men and women enough to resign, because it's very clear they will not deliver. They can't deliver. So Kenyans are waiting for the government to deliver, but the government can't deliver. A confirmation that Ruto and his team were not ready, not prepared to form a government. And now that they have formed that government, they are completely clueless on how to solve the issues Kenyans are facing. It's incumbent upon the members of parliament to impeach this government. This is a government that has clearly failed to deliver. I think that should be made very, very clearly. And then this TWIGA Foods distribution company is also coming out to me as a company that is also exposing that this is a government that has failed. Yes, TWIGA is also exposing that, because now William Ruto is saying he has stabilized the economy. So companies should be thriving. But if you are now seeing a company close to the government saying that times are hard, then it confirms again Ruto has been lying to Kenyans by saying he has stabilized the economy. The economy has not stabilized. In fact, the economy is performing poorer than it was 1 year ago when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president. So in a way, in one way or the other, TWIGA is just dropping a bombshell on Ruto's government. And it might be possible that is just trying to expose to Kenyans that this government has conned it. I'm seeing that as also a message this company is trying to pass across. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. But that admission by TWIGA confirms that Kenyans should be prepared for very hard economic times ahead. More and more Kenyans are going to lose their jobs. Life is going to become more difficult for a majority of households in Kenya. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Any other person who may want to support our channel, contact me through my number. I've pinned the number on the first comment. Contact me through that number. Let's meet in our next analysis. And to those watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment. Let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.